Hi guys, welcome to me. We are feeling really peaceful right about now. Trav, go watch the other one and listen to Trav's story and listen to all of the things that he's doing. Or like, just go listen to the last one. This is the second one off of that, but he's doing singing bowls for us right now. So sit back and relax for a moment.
I could go on
Oh my God. This is why I go to your lives.
forever.
Oh my God, Trav, that is amazing. I mean, I don't know if anybody heard me like when we were booting back up, but you had already put me in this place of just tranquil, like
That's good.
uh like the nervous system and everything, it just regulates. And like you said, it gets you out of like all the chaos in your mind or anything you have going on. It just uh you're amazing at that. And I love how you have set them up in chakras. That's incredible. I mean, you walked through them all. You told us the starting from the root all the way to the crown. You have them all set up. You know the hurts. That's just all the stuff that you're learning through this, and it's like you're embodying this thing, obviously, and it's just amazing. And I could listen to it all day. That's why I come to your lives because sometimes I'm working or and just I can still feel the chills, or sometimes I'm just laying there and I'm just closing my eyes. Like
Yeah.
it, it's incredible.
Well, I'm
Um,
glad you enjoy it. It's a lot of fun to do, that's for sure. And it's again, nothing that I ever planned to do. It was just I fell into it and was good at it. And as long as I'm having fun, I'm going to continue.
that part, that part. It's all about having fun. That
Yeah.
is that's actually something I heard today. I actually heard one of the guys I follow. He got on and he was talking about just have fun with it. He was like,
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is that makes you have so much fun that you just don't want to stop doing, that's your thing, you know?
Yeah.
And I thought about it and I'm like, recently, I'm so good at like talking to people and hearing their stories and asking them questions and being in the moment with them and I realize one of the things I'm good at is holding space, like curating a space for wherever you are and loving you and respecting you there, and in all walks of life, And started thinking about all the things that I am really good at. And I want every single, like, I want people to find that thing that makes them feel fun. If it's fun to you and you can, I'm still like, oh my God, I feel like I could just pass out on the floor because of how soothing that is. And also, before we go, I wanted to ask you about, you said you're a musician. And I met my husband's a musician. He puts music to my girls. They write songs and he puts the music to it.
Okay.
And when I first met him, he was behind the drum set. And that was 32 years ago, 33 years ago. And so he was sitting behind the drum set with long hair, slinging all of his hair slinging everywhere. But anyway, like, yes, that. So, okay, so what is your main instrument?
My main instrument is the guitar.
Okay. And how long have you been playing that?
40 something years.
Wow.
Not, and it's never been any kind of aspiration, just more of a hobby. So I'm not as good as someone who's practiced for 40 years. I just pick it up from time to time and set it down from time to time. About 20 years ago, when I first got to Arizona, I was approached by some friends that needed a bass player for a death metal band. And I was like, well, it's a bass. It's similar to a guitar. I'll give it a shot. And I fell in love with the five-string bass and was introduced to death metal and other heavier metals that I didn't know existed. And we played some shows and got some exposure, but nothing mainstream or crazy like that. But kind of fell into and then back out of that, and then from that point I've just started picking things up as a hobby. I've always played the drums because they've always been available and it's fun to play the drums, but I
Will you push
picked up
the
a
mic?
cello.
Will you push the mic just a little closer to your mouth, please?
Could you speak up, Trav? We can't hear you. So the settings are different here. When I go live using this microphone, I was told last night that I had a whistle in my nose and people could hear me swallowing. So I try to stay away from the mic so that I'm not giving you an ASMR experience. It's supposed to be the bowls or my voice, not me swallowing and whistling in my nose. But is that better? Can you hear me now?
A little bit better. I mean, I think.
Okay.
But I want to tell you, I saw that comment. I was on there last night and I saw that comment. And I realized, and I need to tell you this, and I need to tell myself this. You're gonna have people say all kinds of things. And
Right.
ultimately, we got to know that what we're doing is everything we want to do, everything we love, and it's going to rub people the wrong way at sometimes. And there's sometimes it's going to be weird for people or whatever, and that's okay.
Right.
You don't have to be perfect. Actually, I thought I saw that comment and I was just like, that doesn't even matter. That's what I
You
was
know,
thinking.
the reason I thought it just made me self-conscious because,
Yeah.
and believe it or not, for the rest of the night, last night, I could hear that whistle, and I'm like trying to fix it, but she liked it. So she pointed it out, saying, I like when you breathe in through your nose because it has a whistle. And that's when I got self-conscious, but she immediately replied afterwards. She goes, no, it's a good thing. I like it. So that's just proof that whether I think it works or is obnoxious or not, somebody's going to like it, whether it's a whistle in your nose or how your voice sounds.
Yeah.
So I wasn't even, aside from, you can't help it. You get a little bit flustered and self-conscious, like, oh no, I've got a whistle in my nose, but somebody liked it. And so just go with it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I feel like we need to hear that a lot, though. I feel like, people are going to say things and they're going to say good things, they're going to say bad things, or they're going to, make us feel a little self-conscious. But ultimately, I mean, I think it's perfect exactly what we're doing, and you're going to have people having all kinds of opinions. And I have to tell myself that all the time. And it's okay, they're entitled to their opinions. But that's really cool that she said she liked it. Not cool though that it makes like I get it though. I get it though. Like that voice, where we go, you know what? That shouldn't because you're having fun.
Yeah, I'm having
Let's keep
fun.
having fun.
Who doesn't get a whistle in their nose, right? I've been
Right.
really lucky. I've not had very many haters. I've had a couple of trolls come in and try. They'll drop a comment. I'll either ignore it, or if I do acknowledge it, I acknowledge it in a positive aspect. Like last night, someone jumped in and said boring, and I smiled and I responded to them specifically, and I said that's fine. You're entitled to your opinion, but you don't have to be here. So if you're bored, you can scroll out. And thank you for stopping by. And then I've had others that say, oh, these are rituals that they did before they sacrificed children thousands of years ago. And I said, well, that's good that I'm not doing that now. I'm just playing some, lovely tones, and you can take it for what you want. I always greet it with a big smile and say, okay, thank you for that. And, thank you for stopping by.
That's where it's at. That's where it's at. I've been learning this stuff too. Like I had one person say something. It was a video that I did. I have a lot of trouble with my eyebrows. I've never really had eyebrows and I've had to really paint them on myself. So my
Mm-hmm.
eyebrows are not great. But I have found something to do. I haven't done it yet, which is like ombre and it will stay on for a while. So, and you can shape them and everything. Well, anyways, I had this person come across and she said something like, or he, I don't know who it was, but they said, your eyebrows really need a lot of help. And basically it was very insulting. It was just like they kind of, like harbored on that for a little bit. It was really insulting. And I was really proud of myself because I came back with a comment. And the comment was, you know what? I really had a lot of trouble with my eyebrows. And if you are an eyebrow ninja, I could sure use the help.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Like if you are an incredible magician when it comes to eyebrows, bring the help on. Like I was really proud of myself. And you know what? They came back with saying something like, I wasn't gonna follow you, but you just made me respect the hell out of you. And then they
Right.
started following me. And yeah, you're right, that's where it's at. Like you said, your response is so amazing how you're responding to people.
Yeah, and they're looking to do that. They make that comment. They're insecure and they're just trying to get a rise and they're trying to start a fight. And that's not why I got on to do that. As I'm not going to engage the haters in the way that they want me to. So if someone's going to get into the comments and they start dropping, mean, hateful things, you can just ignore it first. That's the easiest thing to do is just to either read it or don't read it. And if you choose to engage, just engage in a ago, and we're not sacrificing anybody. So you can either hang out and enjoy it, or the really difficult part is if it's so uncomfortable for you to be here, this is the gesture to get out of my room, and you don't need to be here. It just brings down the vibe.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. Agreed. Um, wow. I was gonna tell you, you said you do play the drums. See, my husband would tell you he's been playing the drums. He's been playing sorry, I went right back to music, but I was with you on everything you just said.
No, that's okay.
I flip-flop a little bit. But so his instrument was a drum is drums, but he taught himself how to play a guitar, but he doesn't know notes or anything. I mean, yeah, I mean he knows, I'm sure he does, but like he's a feeler like you are. You feel you feel into the music. Um which is crazy because a lot of musicians who know all the things are shocked, sometimes whenever you're just playing, you're playing by your feeling, by ear, by,
Yes.
um, and so and I'm sure they feel too. But yeah, I just think it's really, really, really cool that you're doing all of this.
Yeah,
And
I get people telling me that, oh, I wish, could you teach me how to play guitar? And I say, no, I can teach you how I taught myself how to play guitar, but I can't teach you because I couldn't tell you. I mean, I do, over the years, you pick things up, the A chord, the B chord, and different terminology for things, but for the most part, it's, you put your fingers here like this, and this is the sound, and if it doesn't sound right, then you adjust. And so it's all by ear and by feel, like you were saying.
yeah, yeah. That's the same thing he has said. He has told them, I mean, he's tried to teach people how to play drums, and he did. He's taught, he taught a kid once how to do it, but he basically says, I'm I'm not really a a teacher when it comes to that,
Right.
But anyways, that's incredible. I really, 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 really appreciate you doing this podcast with me. I appreciate everything you're doing. I wish you the absolute best. And like I said, you just need to get ready because more and more people are gonna just come on board and they're just gonna fall in love with you. They're gonna love you and they're gonna tell you how amazing you are. And yeah, it's just something. I feel like that's something you and I probably need to get used to.
Part of the journey, learning how to accept love. It's not one sided. We can't just give and give. We have to accept as well.
Yeah. Absolutely. How long have you been married? Did I ask you that?
Uh, Technically, I'm not married. We've been together for 26 years.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay. I mean, that's married in my book, but
According to the state, we're legally married as well, but as far as like the ceremony and the religious aspect of it, we never did get married. We did a mock setup where we got dressed up in what you would dress up in to be married, and did some pictures. So we got some photos of it. And but I was married way back, and I was only married for about 8 years, and that was its own experience there. But once I got out of that toxic relationship, I found my current wife, and she and I just were best friends for the longest time, and then it evolved from there. So we had a good foundation to start with, and then just became a couple by proxy, and then decided why would we need to sign paperwork and get other things involved. We're happy, we're together, and we know who we are.
yeah, absolutely. I love that too. I think the best relationships come from being friends first because that's exactly the way we were. We were best friends first. And then from there is whenever, and I think that's honestly what's kept us going, even in the hardest of hardest of hardest times.
It is.
Like that's what's kept us going is that underlying deep friendship, that we still cared about each other all the time. So I always knew that no matter what, we were always going to be the best of friends. I
And
mean,
it's a good foundation, something to build off of, because even with friendships, it ebbs and flows, and the newness always wears off, and that's just an inevitability of life. But if you're based off of sexual attraction and romance, that does fade. And if you don't have the friendship that you've got to fall back on when the romance begins to fade, that's, I think, how most people fall apart, is because they base their relationship on the physical aspect or the romance aspect. They don't develop a friendship and then fall in love with each other. It's all about jumping into the sack. So
Hmm. Yes. Yes. And you have children?
I had my first at 42. She will be 11 in 7 days. So, and I've got
Wow.
three stepchildren. I have a 38-year-old son, a 32-year-old daughter, another 31-year-old daughter, and an 11-year-old daughter. So,
Okay, nice. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, we have three. So my oldest is 35. And then we have my middle one is she'll be next month, August, she'll be 32. And then my baby daughter is 30, just turned 30 in March. So
okay,
yeah.
cool.
Um, and when's your birthday?
August 6th.
August the 6th?
Yep,
Wow, that's coming up really soon.
yep.
Any
My
celebration
54th
plans?
year. We don't do celebrations. It's just another day.
Okay.
Just something to kind of keep track of what I'm doing. But if I get the happy birthday wishes, and maybe I'll plan a trip. My mother's birthday is the 7th, so my birthday and then my mother's follows the next day, and my daughter's is the week before mine. So it's three in a row, and so we're gonna make a trip up to Utah to visit, but nothing special.
Well, that I don't know. I really feel like birthdays are so special because it's the day that took your first breath into the world, and life is such a
Yeah,
miracle. But I don't know. I do. I I don't know. I just have so much gratitude for human life, and you do too. I know you do. But yeah. So yours is the 6th, your mom's is the 7th, and then you said who else was?
my daughter's is on July 31st.
Oh, okay. 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 We've got birthdays coming up too, my grandson, and yeah, in August. August is a big one.
Yeah,
So that means I know that you probably don't do like astrology and stuff, but I just kind of gather like a Leo, which makes I've dug into it all, and like figuring out the personalities and things is just mind blowing. So the fact that you're a Leo is just like that makes so much sense. Leos are supposed to be out front. They're supposed to be seen and heard. Leos are like, here I am. You know what I mean? But they're
my
also
wife.
some of the
Yeah,
ones that are the most sensitive,
yeah.
and the ones that really give themselves a hard time with doing that. But anyway,
No, my wife calls me her cowardly lion because I'm very bashful. It's it's kind of weird. I don't know. I'm a Leo with a Cancer rising, and my wife is a Cancer with a Leo rising. So
oh,
there's a good synchronicity there. And it's not that I don't believe in tarot or the astrology. It's around me all the time. My wife has books and stuff. It's just I was explaining the the fight that my logical portion of my personality fights it, even that, but inside I'm still like, yeah, I know, I believe in it 100%. The book, the book of birthdays is one that I'm a big fan of, and the day that I was born, the caption for that day is the day of unique happening, and that could not be more accurate because it's everybody teases me about the Murphy's Law, where if something strange is going to happen, it's going to happen to Trav, and that's because I was born on the day of unique happenings, where things that just you wouldn't even you're like, why did that even happen? And it happens to me, and it's not a bad thing. It's just some really spectacular things happen, good and bad.
so wait, say it again. The day of what? It's I can hear you, but it's really faint.
Okay, it's the day of unique happenings.
The day.
Of unique happenings.
Okay. Okay. Wow.
I'm I'm also recovering from a surgery I had 3 weeks ago in my mouth. full of stitches and missing teeth that I'm used to speaking with, so I'm not able to enunciate as clearly as I would like.
No, 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 no. You're speaking clearly. And I mean, I told you that it's amazing to me how you've gone through all of this surgery, but yet it's just that your voice is faint. And like, the only thing I'm afraid of is that I'm so loud because I'm just that way anyway,
Right.
especially, and I'm really expressive and I'm really loud, and you just have this sweet, like, calming, like, it's like, and so I'm afraid that they're gonna hear me and be like, what? And they're gonna hear you and it's just be like,
It's like,
but
wow, he mumbles, and I turned it up so that I could hear him talk, and then you say something, and they were like, oh, it's too loud.
that that part, that's what I thought. People are gonna be like, I really love the podcast. You were really loud and he's really soft spoken. So I had to be like, whoa, oh, what? Oh, like back and forth, But you know what? It's perfect the way it is. That's what I always say. When it comes down to it, it's absolutely perfect the way it is. You have your
You
voice.
can get into like Audacity or OBS Studio or something like that, and adjust the levels if you needed to. I think then it would come out pretty good. And I need to learn how to project when I speak as well. Uh, my daughter, my youngest, she will hassle me a lot because I've got my tone that I use when I speak, and I'm trying to get her attention from the other room. But then if I raise my voice to actually project it into the other room to get her attention, it changes the emotion in the voice. So I'm just trying to get her attention, but in her ears, she hears a grumpy dad going, "Get in here!" And it's because I'm just trying to make my voice louder, but when I do that, then I sound like the angry dad. We joke about that being my dad voice. I can bring an entire room full of adults into complete submission, sitting there like this, wide-eyed, wondering what they did wrong, and all I have to do is raise my voice. So I think that's why I speak so subdued, so that I don't scare people, because the looks kind of do that a little bit, and I don't want to be too intimidating.
No, I really honor that. I really do because my dad just had a dad voice where it was just, very rarely that I hear that he was soft spoken and like so, and I've told my husband over the years, I'm like, if I feel anything, I'm like, hey, speak to them a little differently, or,
Yeah,
whatever. Like I would just encourage him, because it came from my own pain. Like I would hear those things or hear the voice or the tone and just like shatter. I was afraid of men for a really long time. It's amazing that I'm even doing podcasts with men because I was
yeah,
afraid for years. I was terrified because of that dad voice, because of
yeah.
the stern, you know what I mean? And it shattered me and it scared me. And so I actually said that to myself. I've already had two men on my podcast. I'm going to have many more men, but I'm amazed. I'm like, wow, look at the growth, I'm not, but I just respect the hell out of you. And hey, if you're soft spoken, you're soft spoken. If you need to get someone's attention, you have the best of both worlds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you'll
Just making sure that I can keep control of it, because I could say something like, "Hello, Mandy," or if I'm trying to get your attention from across the room, "Hello, Mandy."
yeah.
Suddenly there's tone in there, and my emotion hasn't changed. It's just my volume, and that volume, it can scare people, and I know what that's like. So I try to keep it subdued. So I criticize myself a little bit and call myself a mumbler, like referring to Charlie in the Chocolate Factory when he would ignore the one kid on purpose, mumbler, just so that you couldn't hear it. I'm like, I'm a mumbler. Either that or I'm going to scare you by yelling. So those are your choices.
And you are really intimidating looking. That's why I'm shocked that I even like, but I felt again, it's like you, your energy and there is a beautiful softness to you that you could have kept going on this really hard path and you didn't, you
Yeah.
know? You didn't. you actually have been dealing like with yourself for a while now, and it's just amazing to me. And like I said, you have boundaries, you have things that you have to say when you need to say them, and you're going to be heard, you know? And then
Yes,
there's that part of you that's very there's just so many men out there I know that could actually learn from you. I know that to be true. That's why I wanted you on here, like because but here's the thing, we both have the male and the female and the male in us. What is it? The feminine and the masculine is what I mean.
yes,
Like we have both of those, and the balance of all of that, let balancing both of them, not and sometimes we'll go to one extreme or the other extreme. I always say if we go to one extreme, we go to the opposite extreme, and then somewhere we're gonna end up finding the balance, you know.
yes, finding the balance.
hmm So,
Well, Mandy, I have to say I had a very wonderful time. I got to get going. I have a friend coming over that needs to talk, so I'm going to go. JJ is coming over to visit. She's struggling a little bit and needs a hug, so I'm going to go take care of that. It was a pleasure to do this with you, and thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I really appreciate it.
you're so welcome. And I'm gonna get you to send me all of your information, like how people
Okay,
can find you. I know that TikTok is, I know your TikTok stuff, but if there's any other stuff that you want people to know, like where people can find you, I'm gonna make sure people find you, because
okay,
they need to
perfect.
experience this. And I thank you so much for being on here. You're amazing. You're a blessing, and keep shining and keep having fun.
Yes, keep having fun. Thanks
Keep
again,
having
Mandy.
fun.
I
That's all
appreciate it.
it is. Thank you so much. And I will probably see you if you're next time you're live, I'll be there.
I'll be on this evening.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All
I'm
right, we'll
sending
see you
so
then.
much love your way.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And tell your wife she's amazing. And I
I
appreciate
will.
her.
I
Okay.
will. Thank
All right. We'll talk soon.
you. Okay.